Hi, this is Rabbi Chaim Kavanagh. Welcome to our 306th installment in the Torah portion of the week. We are holding by Parshat Vayishlach. Parshat Vayishlach, all about the confrontation of Asob and Yaakov. The fact that Yaakov tries to bribe, right? Asob is afraid, and they all bow down to him. Yaakov's afraid that Asob is going to come and kill everyone. They have that encounter, Dina's abduction. Right, by Shechem, right, and all that, and Yaakov returns, goes to Bethel. The death of Rachel, quite a bit to speak about here. So the Torah says, chapter 33, verse 4. And it says, Asob ran toward him, embraced him, fell upon his neck, and kissed him, and then they wept. Right? So the encounter between Asob and Yaakov, Asob really wants to kill him, but he has compassion, right? So basically, it's different opinion exactly what happens. Because there are, in the word Vayishkeu, there are a lot of dots over that word, and calls attention, certainly to hidden allusions. Some say Asob's kisses were insincere. Others say that his mercy was aroused, and he kissed Yaakov with all his heart. Right? It's a difference of opinion. Exactly what he felt. What he felt for Yaakov. So, very interesting. It says, Mori Rebbe, a Rav Agon Moshe Moshe should be well. And it brings down in Hokmah V'das, it's commentary on Chumash. And he says, Rashi brings over here that really, he's Yaakov. Right? A lot of reasons. Right? He doesn't like spirituality, he saw the blessing. Many things that Yaakov is hated for by Asob. But Rashi says at this point, when he comes, he's got compassion. Right? He's got a lot of compassion. So then Rabbi says, in the Medrash Gadol explains that the hatred of Asob to Yaakov. Now, what's the point? Right, we see AntiSemitism all around today. Right? What is the point of this hatred? There's hatred between the nations and the Jewish people. We make it stronger. One explanation why when God gives the Torah to the Jewish people at Mount Sinai, what does the word Sinai mean? The root is Samech Nun Aleph or Samech Nun Yud, means to hate. Means God gave the Jewish people Torah, and all the nations hated them. Go to the nations themselves, they could have had the Torah. Right? They didn't want the Torah. God went to all the nations. They rejected the Torah. Avodah Zarah, 2b to 3a. They rejected Torah. They didn't want it. That's what they complaining about. So it brought hatred, jealousy. Wherever it says anti-Semitism is not a bad thing. Why not? Because if there's more hatred between Jews and non-Jews, right? Or let's say better. If there's more hatred by non-Jews to Jews, the Jews are not going to have that much to do with it. They'll be separate. They will be separate. So they won't intermarry. That's a benefit. And we're not looking for people that hate us anymore, but, there's a benefit. They don't have anything to do with us. They want to separate from us. Very good. But my Rebbe says in our generation, we saw by the Jews in Germany, what do? They intermarried with them. Thing in Germany, 80% intermarriage. Unbelievably high rate of intermarriage. And that is where there's no coincidence. And that is where the destruction of the Jewish people started. Started in Germany. In such a horrific way. I'm not going to say it's the only reason. There many other reasons also. But the fact that there was so much intermarriage there, could understand, God getting angry and saying, hey, you're my chosen nation. What are you doing? What are you doing intermarrying with them? So essentially, total destruction. Total destruction over here. Yeah, also in the States. Right? Also in America, same thing. Democracy. And when you have democracy, they let you in. They allow you to be part of things. What did Jews do? They intermarry. Right? If they're not attached to Torah, they intermarry. So the whole point of Torah mitzvahs is to keep us separate. God didn't take us out of Egypt so we could marry non-Jews, so we could eat shrimp. He took us to make us a nation. When we don't do what we're supposed to do, it's game over. It's severe punishment. He says they went to America. And what did the Jews do? They became like non-Jews. Exactly like non-Jews. They became quote unquote Americans. It's about any country, but we use America as an example. So what did God do? What did God do? God separated us from the nation. He doesn't want us to intermarry. He doesn't want us to be like them. We don't have laws like them. We should be different. And it's an unbelievable thing here. So, what's my Rebbe saying? In these places where we're not together, we're not separate, intermarriage is destroyed. Right? Totally destroyed. We have to remember, we have laws that are different. We have customs that are different. We don't eat the same things. We don't keep the same holidays. But once you're already surrounded by that nation, some people become lazy. It's not really so forbidden. Not such a big deal. Okay, so I'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I can still be, I can still be religious. Doesn't work. The reason it doesn't work is you got to be all in. You cannot be half in and say, okay, I'll keep Torah mitzvahs. I'll do what I need to do in a minimal way. But I can also do other things. We're not looking for anti-Semitism. There's plenty of it out there, especially today. That's all we're looking for. But it's a deterrent. Or it should be a deterrent. Because if we're all lovey-dovey, we're all included, there's no discrimination, what's stopping a Jew from marrying a non-Jew? Nothing's stopping them. Be discrimination, how can I not marry him? What difference does it make? People don't see it as a benefit, nothing. They don't understand. They don't understand what it means to be a Jew. And they sold their Judaism for nothing. Like good old Uncle Asob sold his birthright. What did he sell his birthright for? A bunch of lentils. Right? A bowl of lentils. So, we have to remember, the Jewish people have a special role in the world. And you're seeing all kinds of other fields. Jews are at the top. Exponentially. Mind-boggling. I guess one answer is, if you don't put all your effort into Torah, so you put in other things. Doesn't keep them Jewish. Totally doesn't. The more we become like the non-Jews, the more they hate us. That's why Jews in Germany went crazy. In other places, why are you taking us? Why do you want to kill us? We're like you. We marry your women. We fought your wars. Hitler, Mashimo, Zichroy, his name is blotted out, may rot, wherever he is. He didn't care. Wasn't interested. The fact they got Jewish blood, half Jewish blood, quarter Jewish blood, doesn't matter. He wanted all Jews to be dead. That's what he wanted. He made very clear. Very, very clear. So there are times in history we get major wake-up calls. God reminding us you're not like everyone else. It should be a deterrent. People say to blow over this, that. God does not want you to be like everybody else. He wants you to be separate. He didn't take out a remnant of the Jewish people from Egypt. 20% just to be able to do what they want. He made them into a nation. He gave the Torah. He told them what your obligations are to keep. That's what he did. Mind-boggling. That's our obligation. We're a chosen nation. A chosen nation doesn't mean better. It means we have greater obligations. We have to rise to the occasion. We have to keep what God tells us to keep. Do what he tells us to do. There are no shortcuts. Trust me, I haven't found any. I've been looking for a long time. No shortcuts. You gotta learn. You gotta absorb. You gotta take in what the Torah wants. We'll get distracted. Totally get distracted. Does God want you to be distracted? No. He wants you to be the best Jew you can be. The Evil Ination has its ways. Does a great job. Doesn't need me to agree. Works very hard at what he does. You know, if everything's for the sake of the Jewish people, and so many Jews don't know anything about Torah and mitzvah, it's a disaster. So the answer is you stick to Torah and mitzvahs. You got a 90-95% chance of passing it down to the next generation. You don't, you'll disappear. 100% you'll disappear. And that's what it is. Can't be a cultural Jew. Cannot be the cardiac Jew. Doesn't go. A Jewish feeling cannot be passed down. Because you're missing the meat and potatoes. You're missing the most important thing. Mitzvahs, Torah, learning, ethics. So many things. And many Jews have thrown it away and sold it like a bag of bones for a bowl of lentils. Doesn't relate to them. They don't think about it. It's this, it's that. Judaism can be very deep without getting into Kabbalah. It can show you the meaning of life, what our obligations are, what we need to do. Doesn't mean it's easy. But to be like everyone else, is that what God wants? No. It's not what God wants. He wants us to be different. So it's a mind-boggling thing. You would think if there's, anti-Semitism out there, and it gets stronger, right? Sometimes stronger, sometimes weaker, whatever. You think they'll wake people up? Some people say, yeah, it's going to pass. Some people, scared. How can this be? Haven't seen such strong anti-Semitism, since 1939. So I will find to wake people up. Get them to change. Maybe it will, maybe some will, maybe. But I be saying it's not a bad thing, though. You finally see who people are. They're the greatest of institutions, quote unquote. Right? The Ivy League schools. They can't even admit genocide against Jews is bad. Mind-boggling. This is 2023. Can't admit genocide is bad? No, it's only the context. What is only the context? What do you think it leads to? Oh, your freedom of speech. It leads to pogroms. That's what it leads to. It leads to massacres. Tell me higher, quote unquote, great higher institutions. I mean, not surprising. That's not the whole point of this video. That's a major wake-up call. That's a major wake-up call. Are people going to get the message? Anybody's guess. For us Orthodox Jews, nothing new. Because we know Asob son is Yaakov. Asob hates Yaakov. It's going to be for all generations. The generation before the Messiah is going to be worse. A lot worse. We have to be strong. We have to be proud Jews. Say, thank God we're not non-Jews. Thank God we have Torah mitzvahs. But Torah's out there to change us. It should be out there to change us. And if we use it for the wrong things, it's our fault. It's our problem. We're going to get the message. And the message is we're not like everybody else. That's the message. And if you think you're like everybody else, comes along the non-Jews and says, no, we're going to show you not like everybody else. That's the message. From Rabbi says, if that gets people to change, and they realize what they're really doing here in the world, very good. Because the other side, what's going to happen? You'll assimilate. You'll disappear spiritually. And that'll be that. And we see it happening all over. 60% intermarriage, 70% intermarriage, some places, 80, 85% intermarriage. Leave the floodgates open, what happens? That's what happens. Leave a Hebrew name at the door, next stop, assimilation. That's where it goes. So we got to take this to heart. We got to think, thank God I'm a Jew. And someone's a JIT, yeah. Jew in training. Thank God I got the opportunity to be part of this people. Regardless of what goes on around me, because it doesn't matter. We understand. Asob hates Yaakov. Right? He hates Yaakov. That's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be. So we're going to be strong in Torah. We're going to keep as many mitzvahs as we can. And that should help us reach the great potential that we have. I want to remind everyone I have a class on duties of heart every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, Gate of Self-Accounting. Two Q&As, Tuesday and Thursday. Won't be Thursday because of Hanukkah, but usually 10 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Israel time. Ethics of Our Fathers every Saturday, 2 o'clock Eastern Time, 9 o'clock at night. Israel Time Sunday, Book of Leviticus chapter 17. Again, it won't be this week because of Hanukkah. It's 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 4 o'clock Israel Time. I have conversion classes. Anyone interested in any of this, find me on Facebook at Michael Chaim Kaufman. Beyond Orthodox Conversion to Judaism on Facebook, orthodoxconversion.com. Beyond Orthodox Conversion to Judaism on YouTube. There I got videos on the Torah portion of the week. Book of Leviticus, Ethics of Our Fathers, controversial issues. You want to send me an email, RabbiChaimKaufman@gmail.com, RBBI, ChaimCoffman @gmail.com.